Finally, the full squad. Ray is here. I didn't actually summon on video, obviously. I did summon the moment the update went live and I got her first pull. But something came out, hence why I couldn't record yesterday. But we're recording today. But yeah, she got overload gear, 3 pieces, just like my Asuka, not leveled up. Because I actually want to do a comparison of her and the Asuka, because both of them have the exact same gear, right? 0 piece, level 0 leg here. Level 3 leg here, but fully overload gear level 0. These are the raids and stuff like that. We have to use them together, because if you don't remember what raid does, her whole purpose is technically, I don't want to say she's buffs up Asuka. She does, but I don't want to say like her only purpose in this game is to buff up Asuka. She's actually a damage dealer, right? But the only thing is her kit only works if you're running her with Asuka. That's like what I've kind of got my understanding from, right? And in this showcase, we're gonna definitely try her with Asuka and without Asuka, just to see how Ray is as a character. But a lot of her effects come from having this anti-field whatever, and the only person in the game who can proc that anti-field is Asuka. So yeah, let's just talk about her kit though. After landing 18 normal attacks, if anti-field, you know, is if target is affected by the anti-field status, she does deal 456 of final attack as additional damage and increase the stat count of anti-field. And then when in the attack state, which is her own burst skill, she will deal 221%. So either way, when you're using her burst skill or not her burst skill, she's dealing additional damage, which is actually cool, right? She deals 456 at level 5 if Asuka uses her burst skill, and then 221% if she uses her burst skill, because she gives herself again the attack state in her burst skill, and Asuka gives the AT field, right? She does have the machine gun heating up speed increased by 100% when entering a full burst for any allies with a machine gun, right? And then all allies actually get an attack buff from her when entering a full burst. And then for the attack state, she does give herself an attack damage buff and an attack buff, and then does an AoE. So we're gonna see how well this Ray is. I already have the team set up, her, Asuka, and we're gonna go in there and see what we're working with here, right? I really do hope for the best, because obviously it would be weird if you know, if she just wasn't good, right? But we're going in here with this team. I probably want to actually I'm going to take Noir off the team. I have Noir on the team for no reason. I'm actually going to take Noir off the team and put in Naga, right? Who actually will give core damage buffs and obviously heal out Crown. So because she's healing up Crown, that's more damage towards these two, right? But technically, like, Asuka should be doing more damage, but at the same time, it's like Ray could possibly be doing more damage than Asuka as well, because again, it's not like she's there to support Asuka. It's more like she works when Asuka is with her, right? So we're gonna have Naga on the team and see what's really gonna happen here. Right, I don't even know, is this a mobs or the boss that I went for? It's just a boss. Okay, good. Let's take a look and see what damage is looking like for both of these two, because remember, she does do damage when Asuka uses her burst skill, because Asuka gets the anti-field when you use her burst skill, right? So let's take a look. Boom. I do have these little effects, whatever. Okay, so we're at 7.4 million with Asuka and 2.5 million for Ray. Now that the full burst has started, so 7.5 and then 2.5, I think it was 7.5 and 2.5. Let's take a look and see what that's like. Okay, I can't even see the full burst ending. 62 million and 22 million. So I mean, it's not bad for Asuka. That's not bad for Asuka as well, right? 62 million. But now let's take a look at Ray when we use her burst skill, right? I mean, it's better to use her burst skill because she gets a lot of damage buff. So 26 million. Let's go to her because we're showcasing her, right? 26 million. Look at those damages, though. Those additional damages she's just doing for free, basically. Oh, the enemy ended up jumping. 22 million to what? To 66 million. I mean, not bad, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to want to run these two together. The only thing is, it's really hard to run Asuka and Ray and Scarlet Black Shadow and try to get all 3 of their bursts going, right? I think your best case scenario is to just use Asuka's burst and then also use Scarlet Black Shadow's burst, and then just have Ray get the 400 additional damage, 400% additional damage while, you know, they're using her burst skill, because we're at 93 million, right? Boom, 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 boom. Those, look at those numbers down there. Is that 2 million? Yeah, 2.9 million on the crit, 1.6. She's just doing that for free. Right, boom. She's pretty close, right? Obviously, yeah. Is she the 3rd strongest? I guess Ray might be the 3rd strongest win DPS in the game now. So it's gonna be Scarlet, then it's going to be Asuka, then it's going to be Rey, all right? But I do want to see, like I said, how good is Rey without Asuka, because a lot of her kit does have to deal with obviously being in a certain state, which is the anti-field. And not to mention, it's not even just the anti-field, like, oh, it's gonna proc her. The anti-field that gives a lot of stuff, right? When you're in the anti-field, she does have what's it called? This is for herself, but when the target's affected by anti-field, she does deal more damage, whatever. It's not that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the damage increase. Where is it? Here. Right? Yeah, damage taken increase to the enemy. This is the enemy in the annihilation state, right? Annihilation state also procs the AT field, but damage taken increase, that stacks up, by the way. So this enemy is definitely getting hit real bad, right? This enemy is definitely getting hit real bad. But I do want to try Rey and Asuka in the Kraken. It's going to be a bit hard because I usually have my mouse with me this time around. I don't have my mouse with me, so I'm actually going to have to use the mouse pad. It's going to be a bit difficult, but we should be able to get the job done, hopefully, right? So yeah, let's take a look and see what's going on here though. We got freaking 307 million, 212 million. I mean, I won't think, that's pretty good. They're close in numbers, which I am at least happy about, because it's literally just like how I see it is they're the same. I see it as the other Rey and the other Asuka. The other Asuka is just a stronger character, and the other Rey is a very powerful character as well, just not as strong as the Asuka. That's just how I see it. And I think I only see it like that just because it's like this Asuka and this Rey is the same thing, right? Both of them are meant to be used together just like the other two. They're just wind, which is so fun. Like, until this day, it's always going to be funny to me because, like, I think before they actually announced anything about these characters, I made a video literally saying they're going to make both of them win just to fill out the win DPSs, right? Both of them are going to be the same type, both of them going to be burst 3 DPSs, wind. That's what I said, and that's exactly what happened. They were both the win DPSs. So I think that's hilarious about. Yeah, I mean, Asuka is way higher though, like way higher. And it's this effect that Asuka has, this little like god light effect, whatever. It kind of hurts my eyes. I'm not gonna lie, Loki does hurt my eyes, right? But then we get the attack status, whatever, and then boom. Right, and both of these two I would say are fairly matched up. They basically have the exact same gear going on, right? They have the exact same pieces of overload gear. They don't have the exact same rolls, but their rolls weren't even the best. I think Rey has like a lot of crit rate or freaking defense and hit rate and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's the overall number, sure. 550 million, 355 million. It's a good duo. It's definitely a great duo. But how good is Asuka, or not Asuka, how good is Rey without her best buddy? That's the question of the day. So let's go ahead and do this, right? Let's see how good Rey is without having to use her you know, her burst skill or whatever, right? Or not without having to use the burst skill, but without having her with Asuka, who does help her out. That's a lot of damage actually being lost now that I think about it. Without Asuka, she's losing a 450 something % additional damage. Like and that's every 18 normal attacks. She's missing out on a lot of damage just by not having that annihilation status or status effect or whatever, like annihilation state. Her not having that is making her lose a lot of damage, and I think like it is going to be problematic. It's like, that's what I mean when I say, what's the point of having Rey if you don't have Asuka? It genuinely. 10 million, right? She's at 10 million damage. Let's see what she goes up to, right? Boom. Boom. And then Herber skill. We're at 13.7 million. 13.7 million to what? She still does her damage. We lost a few seconds there. 13.7 million to 56 million. That's not bad. I mean, last time it was 66 million with Asuka, so that was like an additional 10 million damage, right? She's missing out on probably an additional 10 million damage, but even by herself, she could still work, right? I think if you're gonna use her as a no, you can't. If you're gonna use her without Asuka, there's no way you can use her as a flex burst 3, because then she's not doing anything, right? Her whole kit revolves around her using her burst skill to get the attack status, or Asuka using her burst skill to get the annihilation status. So if you don't have any of that off, she's only using normal attacks. She's a waste of a character at that point. So if you're going to use her as a flex burst 3, have Asuka on the team. If you're not going to have Asuka on the team, you have to use her as one of the burst 3 DPS characters, because it's actually just a huge waste of putting her on the team as a flex burst 3 if all she's doing, because you might as well put someone like Noir or any other person on the team who's actually supporting the team in some type of way, right? I guess the only thing she is doing actually is this: when you enter a full burst, all allies get that little attack buff. Sure. But it's what's her number, Jack? 120. Then so you got Scarlet, but Scarlet's Scarlet. Like you can't. Scarlet is Scarlet, right? Okay, but I kind of get the understanding. I do want to do one more run, and that is going to be of Ray as a flex burst 3 character. So basically, this exact same composition, right? But rather than Naga being there, it's going to be Scarlet, Asuka, and then Ray as a flex burst 3 character, where she is getting all her effects because, well, not all of them, but she is getting the effects from Asuka. And then Asuka's also going to be buffed up. But so I'm kind of trying to compare Asuka and Scarlet, but Scarlet's already way higher than Asuka here in the minute left. So, I mean, I know Asuka is not as strong as Scarlet, but hey, did Win get a W here? They did it, but it's like a weird W. It's a weird W, I would say. They did definitely get a W, though, but it's a weird W. Personally, I think it's a weird W. Because it's like, yeah, they got crazy DPSs, but these DPSs are so niche, it's actually crazy. And it's one of those situations, I guess it's called a FOMO. I don't even know what FOMO stands for, but I do understand what it is. Basically, it's basically like you have to have this character for this one to work. It's kind of like Bunny Girls as well at the same time as Naga and Tia as well, even Mast and Anchor. Those are like FOMO characters in my opinion. You guys let me know. I don't even know what FOMO stands for, but let me know if I got that right. Basically, they're selling one character, right? And then, like, in order for you to get the full capability of the other character, you have to have that other character that they're selling in the first place. So, I think that's FOMO, but you guys let me know. You guys know more than me, right? I just don't know what FOMO means. I know what BOGO is. I know what everything else is. I don't know what FOMO is. I forgot what that means. I forgot what it means. Somebody told me a long time ago, but I forgot what it means. I just never hear FOMO like that. So, hey, let's see what the final outcome number is going to be, though. Right, let's take a look and see what it's gonna be. And $307 million. That's using her burst skill. So no Asuka, but using Ray's burst skill, 307 million is all she was able to do. Oh my god. And then let's just do one more run, a full 3-minute run, but with Asuka on the team. Right, and we could do scope lock, but I don't really. I mean, should we do scope lock for the last one? No, because I've done it both of them so far without scope lock. So I just want to see what is her. If she's doing 307 million with no Asuka but her burst skill, and she ends up doing more with no burst skill but Asuka, it just goes to show how silly that is, right? The fact that she's doing more not using her burst skill with another character. That's not. Asuka's not buffing her. Asuka's making her kit work, right? So. If you don't know what's going on this time, when Asuka uses her burst skill, Ray will be getting this effect, right? Ray will be getting this first effect. Ray will be getting the second, or no, not the second effect. Ray will be getting this first effect, and she'll also be getting this last effect, where when you enter a full burst, all allies in annihilation status, which I guess would technically include her. I don't think it would actually. That's a buff specifically for Asuka then. Okay, but like Asuka's little effects that she's putting on the enemy is technically a team-wide buff, right? Damage taken increase to the enemy is technically a team-wide buff, right? So, hey, we'll consider that, right? She's only at 10 million. Okay, so 10 million. This is the second burst rotation. Crown is on the team, by the way, y'all. This is the second burst rotation. 12 million to what? This is 12 million to what? Let's take a look. And the enemy jumped again. Okay, 12 million to... Oh my god, 28 million. What's Asuka? 68. I feel like if you build up Asuka like correctly, I'm talking like elemental damage, attack percent, whatever it is, right? I feel like if you build up, because my Asuka's not fully built up, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you do build up Asuka correctly, you will get crazy numbers, right? And the same thing goes for Rei. If I was to build up my Rei and if I was to build up my Asuka, they'd be crazy, right? And this is what people mean when they say I bricked my account, because I just gave all my materials to fully invest 55555 overload gear SR Sakura, which I don't regret, but I could have used that to level up these characters instead. Does that make sense? That's the definition of bricking your account. But I don't know. Is her flex numbers like acceptable for me? In 3 minutes, her flex numbers have to be at least 200 million for it to be acceptable for me. At least 200 million. Because don't get me wrong, she is doing stuff. Like her normal attacks are not bad in my opinion, right? She has over 100 bullets, right? See, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's bad in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's bad. But then she does have ammo capacity. That's what that's from. She has the ammo capacity. I didn't give it to her, but that's just what I rolled off my first overload gear. But she's not even at 100 million yet, which is so concerning. But when she gets those 18 normal attacks when Asuka uses her burst skill, then it's like thing. So that's the only thing. When you're using Asuka and Rei and they're both the burst 3 characters, it's like Asuka uses her burst skill, Rei's doing her thing. Rei uses her burst skill, Rei's doing her thing. But in a situation like this where it's Scarlet and Asuka using her burst skill, every 40 seconds, Rei is going to be able to start doing something. Because until Asuka uses her burst skill, Rei is not doing anything. You know what I mean? That's why her numbers, even now, it's still not at 100 million. It's still not at 100 million because we have to wait 40 seconds. So it's just no point, bro. If you're not using them together, what's the point? Genuinely, like, because I could use Noir in that Flex Burst 3 slot and just get more. I would get more. I could use Mana in that Flex Burst 3 slot and I would get more. I could put Naga in there and I would just get more for the team in general, right? So my whole point is, what is the point of using Rei if you're not going to use her with Asuka and they're both not using their Burst 3? Like, you know what I mean? So it's not, this is what I mean. We're in a weird situation because now it's like, if I'm using Rei, I might as well use her burst skill. But if I'm using her burst skill, then I might as well use Asuka's burst skill. So it's like, I can't really fit Scarlet, Rei, and Asuka on the same team. And I can't even fit Scarlet and Asuka on the same team without having Rei there as well. Well, I could do that actually. I don't have to have Rei if I'm running Scarlet and Asuka. But like, if I'm trying to use Rei, I can't put Scarlet on there. I have to put Asuka, right? That's just how it is, unfortunately. So in my opinion, we're gonna see what the final number is. It's probably gonna be 150 million is the minimum I can give her. That's the least I can give her. 143 million, right? Asuka's doing half of what Scarlet did. 400, and again, my Scarlet is fully built. My Asuka is barely built. So if I was to build up Asuka even more, 555, even level up her overload gear and give her the correct rolls. Like, let me show you guys the rolls on my Asuka. If I was to give her all these things, yeah, her numbers would definitely be high up there, especially with Rei in the game. Look, hit rate and charge speed. She don't need charge speed. She's a machine gun. Charge speed. What? Crit rate and charge speed. Like, these are her base rolls that she ended up getting. It's completely useless because she's a machine gun character. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think Rei is a fantastic character only if you're using her with Asuka. And what I mean by that is Asuka uses her burst and Rei is using her burst and you're alternating between the two. Any other situation, I don't feel like this Rei is worth it whatsoever, right? And in gen, if you want me to be honest with you, the only way I can ever see you using Rei and Asuka on their own team is solo raid, and that's if the boss is like disadvantaged to win characters. Other than that, there's no point. But we're gonna try her and Kraken with Asuka and see how far we can get. You guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.